it wasn't a stupid conversation.
Right.
Too soon.
Too soon.
You know one thing on both sides of the football, at minimum. The left tackle played bad. The right tackle. Wait.
This is the wonderful Happy Thanksgiving greeting to everyone as we talk about Ray and the show that the pros watch. I'm James Brown. Here's something to give thanks for, no matter what they're saying. You guys are thrilled to have Sugar, the Hall of Famer, back in the seat. Are you not?
100%. We missed you.
Hey, really, from the bottom of my heart, yeah, we missed you.
The very bottom.
Was that sincerity? I didn't even get my heart. I did the wrong side.
I know you.
My heart.
Thank you for that, Phil. So aside from that, what did we learn? I know our colleague Bill Cowher talks about this part of the year being the murky waters of the NFL. Teams that maybe are showing surprise, stumbling along the way, those that you thought wouldn't stumble are doing well. What's happening with
Keep stumbling, keep fighting, because it always in the NFL you're trying to find that perfect mix where your team comes together. The first 4 weeks of the season, you're excited, you're playing, you feel great and all that. Then the meat of the season comes and, you know, boy, it's a fight just to kind of stay where you want to be. And then, of course, JB, at the end of the year, man, you're excited again because why? Because we have a shot at the playoffs. So you just try to manage all those things. It's going to be rough. The NFL winning a game is so hard. Case in point, Baltimore loses to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has them inside the 10-yard line. If he throws a touchdown pass when he scrambles, Lamar Jackson's the hero.
Yeah.
Look at him, they're back, and Tennessee's stumbling. It actually turns completely around just because of one play sometimes. So you just got to hang in there and keep playing hard and hope it goes your way.
Right,
Yeah. For me, I guess I learned two things. Number one, the league is in good hands, and two, there's some next level coaching out there right now. So the league is in good hands. Let's look at Adam Thielen. He does it again. This kid continues to show up and make big catch after big catch. This is amazing. And then you have CD Lamb. That's a difficult catch. A lot of people think like, this is just, that's easy. No, that's hard. You're in mid-air and you have to track the ball, and then you're twisting just to bring. That's just tough. That's difficult. The league is in great hands when it comes to the wide receiver position. And then we talk about next level coaching. So there's a lot of talk about the Tennessee Titans going into the middle of the field, Baltimore Ravens before the game, and it wasn't intentional. Now that's next level coaching. Look at the Titans. The last 3 of their 4 games, they lost.
Yep.
So when you look at losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, losing to the Bengals, then you beat Chicago, then you lose to the Colts, you got to get your team going. I believe he intentionally threw his team in the fire and said, I want you guys to break it down. He didn't even know. I don't even think the team knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Making them go into this dogfight and setting the tempo from the beginning of the game. I thought it was brilliant.
You know what? Just to help you out, it's always been bad blood with us in Tennessee. It's always been, all the way back through all the years, 1999, 2000. But look, we're coming down to the second half of the season, right? We're coming down to hard-nosed football, hard-nosed football. So the question is, what did I learn? How do you play defense? Right?
Yeah.
You watched this pass last night with Tom Brady. A fumble is simple. If somebody knocks the ball out of your hand and it's not in your control, that's a fumble. But this tuck rule that they keep saying, players, defensive players, they're making the right hits, and the referees and this whole league has took the image of a defensive player and made it so bad that you watch TV now and all you hear is, he can't do that. That's a terrible player. He's fighting nasty. Really? My job is to make sure you do not appreciate coming through the middle of the field.
Relax.
Right? I don't want to relax.
No, listen. Don't. You shouldn't, because I know your frustration. And hey, look, I played quarterback, and I love to see all this stuff. But boy, every year they handicap the defense more and more.
Pass interference, Phil. Can you do anything else?
You can't touch.
But
guys like him.
I'm not finna go there.
I gotta play devil's
advocate. There's no devil's advocate.
We will say this is going to be a fired up show, Phil. Time for the highlights, and we begin with three of the most talked about games of the week, including the NFC West showdown between Arizona and Seattle, and the Titans comeback. Brandon is already heading there, that win at the Ravens. But we kick off with another overtime thriller, the Packers at the Colts. Did your TV last through the night, or did you bring
Maybe I turned it off.
Ray, come on, man. Like, you got Coach Harbaugh step out there, and where's the players? Where's the Ravens players? That was so disrespectful. I don't care what Coach Vrabel says. Yeah. I think it was intentional, and it was disrespectful, but I actually like it. I actually like when your team is struggling, throw them in a fight. See what they're going to do.
Of course it was intentional. They're out there, Malcolm Butler standing there looking. Yeah. It was intentional. That's Mike Vrabel. He likes nothing more than to fight. Mm-hmm. That's what he is. That's what his team does. That's the way he coaches, and that's why the Tennessee Titans.
So clearly you guys know, Week 11 featured a Super Bowl era record of 5 games between teams with a 6-3 record or better, including 3 of the ones, of course, that we just saw in those highlights. So the question is, which of those games you think had the biggest impact on teams that are heading towards the postseason?
Let's look at it. For me, it was the Seattle Seahawks versus the Cardinals. That was the most important win when you look at it. Why? This is a team that I picked before the season to actually go to the Super Bowl because I felt like they were built for this moment. 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, they have the leadership, they have a good enough defense, they have chemistry continuity, and they have Russell Wilson. And what ended up happening? They started hot. Defense started trending in the wrong direction, historically bad. Offensively, we saw Russell Wilson playing bad for the very first time in his career. We've never seen Russell Wilson throw so many picks. That's what makes him great, is his decision-making and him being able to protect the ball. So I felt like this was a huge win for the Seattle Seahawks to get back on track because they could easily have been trending out of the playoffs if they stayed on that direction where they were headed when it comes to their defense and their offense.
You know what? Look, we just witnessed it, right? The Titans and the Ravens. And you're right? Is it disrespect? Absolutely. Is it something that you should frown upon? Absolutely not. No. Play the game. Play the game. Man, I'm telling you, we went to Tennessee too many times. That rivalry with Eddie George and Steve McNair, rest in peace. But I'm telling you, the way that game was played was the way that game was played just Sunday.
Yeah.
It's old school football. It's an old school mentality.
You can't help yourself.
I cannot. I love it.
But what I'm talking about, why does it always go back to you?
Because you got to follow.
You're going back to a 2002 game.
Because you don't understand history.
Well,
history repeats itself.
We're talking about Lamar Jackson.
That rivalry. If you go back, whether it's in Tennessee or Baltimore, 90% of the time, whoever wins that rivalry was going to the Super Bowl from 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. I'm exciting you. But the point is, I just want to stay with me for a minute. The point is, the Ravens losing that game to Tennessee after Tennessee done what they did last year in the playoffs in Baltimore. For the Ravens to lose that game now and go to Pittsburgh on a Thursday night, you lose that game to Pittsburgh on a Thursday night, right? But look at the rest of their schedule. The Cowboys, the Browns. The Browns ain't no pushover no more.
No question.
Right? You got the Jaguars, Giants, and Bengals. So now you put the Ravens in a very bad position by losing that game to Tennessee. They control their destiny if they win that game. Right. They lose that game and not win.
You know, you talked about the murky part of the season. That explains it all. How close. Yeah. Just trying to win those games like that. If Baltimore won that game, we would be all jumping on. Lamar's, like I said earlier, that's one thing. The thing I learned, too, now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're playing for the wild card. Wow. Now, they got a really good offensive line. They got the greatest wide receiver group in history. They got a defense that has it all, and here they sit 6-4. Yeah. So how did that happen? I don't know. The last thing is, too, the Chiefs. We have found somebody that is catching up to the Chiefs, and it's real. John Gruden is out. He's back into being that coach.
Oh my
He's being really creative. They're matching the Chiefs score for score. All the things they're doing, and Derek Carr, for all you people out there watching, get over it. Derek Carr is a big-time quarterback. Fact. He has it all, and him and Gruden are like that, and that was really great to watch.
Derek Carr might have been the quiet preacher man before, but he's a fiery preacher up in the pulpit now, is he not?
I believe him. Before I wasn't sure. When you watch him play now, you can't tell me that this man is into it.
He's
got
Gruden. You know what? Coming off of those Cowboy highlights, as we are taping the show right now, we've learned that the Cowboys have canceled practice today. That due to a non-COVID emergency involving a staff member. But as of right now, the Cowboys game this Thursday is still a go. So let's shift gears and get set for the Thanksgiving edition of the Grab Bag. Now, we were trying to make this a participatory thing. Brandon didn't want to participate, so he wants us to ask him the question.
Why y'all wanted sugar? We gonna mess up a good thing.
Well, you know what? You're right. Let's go back to the old way. Here.
Tell the truth.
All right, so I've got the first question. Who is the best running back in the league right now, Brandon?
Dalvin Cook.
Why?
I mean, he's so explosive. He can get to the house any given moment. Dalvin Cook.
Great.
Yeah, I like Alvin Kamara. I just like
well-rounded, huh?
Well, I just like what he does, not just from the backfield, from catching the ball as well.
I like Dalvin Cook not only because he looks great doing it. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's just different. It looks great, so I like Dalvin Cook.
Phil, I need to ask this question because I need an answer right now from both of y'all. What is wrong with the Ravens?
Well, you don't have to yell at me. One, they're disjointed. Everybody's unhappy. They look unhappy when they play. They don't play with unity. You don't see the usual Raven toughness, all that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to what we just saw. Coach Harbaugh's the only one standing out there when you have the Tennessee Titans standing on your shield, your logo, and no player runs out there. I think it starts there. Something's going on in that locker room. Guys aren't happy.
Yeah, wow. Brandon, this is a great question. Who you got? Tyson or Roy Jones?
Ooh.
You should know something about boxing.
Hey, listen, if Tyson show up to the fight, I'm going with Tyson.
What does that mean?
What you mean? You don't know what you're going to get out of Mike these days,
I
man.
like Mike Tyson.
Who you got? Who you like?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, okay. When would me and you have this arm wrestle?
We can do it right now.
Really?
Oh, let's finish it up. Hold on, let's finish up and then we'll come right back to it. Yeah, look at Ray.
Boy, you got my blood boiling.
Go ahead, Ray.
Which has a better chance of happening? The Steelers finishing undefeated or the Jets finishing winless? Oh, that's a good one.
A greater chance?
Yes, which one?
The Jets are going to win a game. Let's put it.
The Jets are going to win a game?
Yes.
Okay. Brandon.
Let's see. They got the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Browns, the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I think I may go with
Neither's going to happen.
I may go with the Steelers too. Will Cam Newton be the Patriots starting quarterback next season?
Yes.
Yes. What's the alternative?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, here's the last one.
Yep.
Which quarterback gives the Dolphins the best chance to win, Tua or Fitz?
Hey, everybody relax. They took him out for a good reason.
A good reason?
Yes, it was a good reason.
What was the reason?
Because he was struggling. They wanted to win the game. They put Fitz in. It almost worked.
Where did you
Move
learn?
on.
Tua. No,
Tua, man.
No.
It's going to be Tua.
That's a whole nother segment. You learned your greatest lessons when you were losing. That was a bad move. Fitzpatrick give you the best opportunity.
Brandon, did you see the influence that Ray had on Phil just now?
Yeah, I saw that.
What
Did
happened?
you see it?
Yeah.
Did he get mad and
Did I?
fired up and whoo?
Well, hell, how could you not get mad? We're too.
Oh, hey, folks, after that, it is time to check in with another team that will be playing on Thanksgiving Day. That would be the Houston Texans. On Thursday, Houston travels to Detroit, but this past Sunday, the Texans hosted the Patriots.
I can't believe you said that.
Me either.
That
Hey,
was good.
you got his blood boiling when you said, let's
good
go
reason
right
to take
now.
Tua out.
Wow.
Man, they going Mullen, Jordan.
Man, you know what? This pandemic has done one thing. It's made quarterbacks and coaches create more
them too much
opportunities
time.
to talk. So let's try to explain a few things to the fans, what you hear out there. I mean, listen, as ex-players, like I said, we don't even know all the time what they're saying, but we got an idea. The first one they all hear is this. The quarterback's underneath. They're getting ready to get under the center, and he looks across and he sees Ray Lewis. 52's the mic. What does that mean? That means the offensive line is going to block the 4 defensive linemen, and the 5th offensive lineman is going to block the mic. So what do?
So if we're blitzing,
You're blitzing.
He's already called me out.
So we're going to block you.
Absolutely. I'm going to switch my blitz and give my blitz to my backside backer, knowing that you changed the play.
That I changed that play.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's a really an easy one. So if I come up and we got a run play called in the huddle, a zone. So we don't know if we're going to run outside or inside. If I come up and go, Blue New York, Blue New York. So what does New York mean? Where's the run going to be? It's going to be inside. Why?
Yeah. Because it's cold.
It's cold outside. We want to be inside. What if I say
if you go
LA?
outside, LA, it's going to be outside.
So that means
you want to be
inside.
outside.
It's really that simple for all the people at home.
And if it's me, I'm on the defensive side and know that you calling that after studying film all week. I'm saying, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Back at 7 to 9 yards, it's definitely got to be a run.
All right, well, cool. Yeah, and the other thing is, too, like if I was playing against the Philadelphia Eagles and Reggie White, who was really good.
Yeah.
And you have a pregame plan, even with snap counts, as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, Reggie White, I want to alert him right away because this man's he's a threat So I would come to the line, instead of going on a normal count, I would go on 3. I'd go, blue 82, sit, hut. And see if he would jump. And of course, Reggie was great. He would never jump. But at least I had alerted him. Now, if I played a team that didn't have a good pass rusher, I would wait and just lull him to sleep. 82, sit, hut, just keep going. And then it was a big moment. Hit that snap count.
Now watch the defense adjustment, the same thing. If I got a defensive line and knowing that the offensive line, I got a defensive line, I said, move! They move, we move.
Well, you're
offensive line.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
But you can't yell move too much because that's illegal.
Because now it's illegal. When I was playing, it was not illegal.
Here's what's really good. What's changed so much in the league. All the movement, the formations, all the checkings really changed, I think, and hurt the defenses, too. One thing, Brandon, you're the wide receiver. We got a play called, and you had X hand signal. Tell us
so X wide receivers always to the short side of the field, more of a possession receiver. That was me in Denver. Jay Cutler and I, we would get to the line of scrimmage. They would say, trips right. We're 11 personnel. Trips right. Z zig. Z bingo post. X hand signal. Meaning we're going to give you the route, your route, when we get to the line of scrimmage. So everything was hand signals. I knew if Jay gave me that one, it's go time. I'm taking the top off. I could get a back shoulder, but I'm going for the go ball. If he gave me 2, a slant. If he did anything like this, Sugar, that was a double move.
Sugar, before you go, though, the purple wall was just to tell the fans, I'm pretty sure purple tells the offensive line how to protect, and Walrus was the play down the field, probably something deep down the field.
Yeah, you know what? One of the good things about Peyton Manning, every time he checked with that hand signal, I knew it was the China 6 coming. So I used to blast him. Listen, let's get back to the highlights. Here's Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn mic'd up for the visit of the Jets.
Back up, your head look big.
As noted in the highlights, that was a landmark NFL game on Monday night, the first to feature an all-black officiating crew. Sincere respect and congratulations to Jerome Boger and his entire crew, and also to the NFL. However, along with being an historic moment, that event gives us the opportunity to discuss what I know Judy Batista and I started a week or two ago, the following topic, and that is the NFL, the league in general, doing enough to, now I know they're promoting diversity. My question more pointedly is, why hasn't there been the progress? This isn't the first time that we've been talking about this. The NFL's Rooney Rule has been in place since 2003, and clearly I know they had a high of 8 black coaches at one point in time. But Phil, what are you seeing in the process that seemingly is inhibiting this being a natural occurrence?
Well, you said something earlier. You said, the owners have the right to hire the person they feel comfortable with. And I think that is wrong. It's not about being comfortable. It's about hiring the person that's going to do the best job. So I would hope that we're going to see more of that in the future. Starting this year, we'll find out.
Success is going to happen in your mind, Ray, because effectively you weren't just a player on the field. Ownership and executives with the Ravens, they pulled you into the room to talk about what the team needed. Why were they doing that with you?
Yeah, because I think one of the things, and me and Brandon was talking about this, you're talking about a league that's over 70% black, right? And for me, nothing is ever going to change until you change ownership. It bothers me that we're still having this conversation about black men having the right and equal opportunities to just even be not just only a GM, but what about even being a commissioner? What about why we have never had a black owner in the National Football League? But all of us put on our pads and go out there and surgery after surgery and sacrifice our lives, but they don't come back to ownership. JB, in any form of business, nothing in life changes until it changes from the ownership level. And that's why it's so interesting what you said. They hire who they're comfortable with. And a lot of them are not comfortable with black skin sitting beside them in that power.
Hold on real quick. I got to say this. And for those who may not think that there are enough people of color with the money and resources to do it, that's absolutely untrue. Brandon, let me hear you weigh in on this.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Ray, I said it a couple weeks ago when they rolled out, Troy Vincent rolled out his plan. There's going to be more things that we do, more initiatives. And I said we need to start at the top.
Yeah.
To me, owners, and it's any business, like you hire people that you're comfortable with. Because when you're saying, hey, here's the keys to my business, here's the keys to my family's business that have been in our family for years, that's a big deal. And they typically go with people they're comfortable with. So for me, it starts there. But I will say this. The NFL got it wrong. 2016, Cap took his first knee. The NFL got it wrong. Roger Goodell got it wrong. But now let's fast forward to today, 4 years later. Commissioner Goodell apologized, said we got it wrong. And he said, you know what, we're going to lead this discussion. And so far, the NFL and our players are leading the discussion not only in sports, but in all industries. So hats off to Troy Vincent for doing so many things and really being a catalyst to a lot of these initiatives.
I want to speak to Brandon's point about the owner turning the keys over of the franchise to somebody. The implication is that people of color can't do that. We can certainly look in corporate America do that, and there are plenty of examples, but the one that I will pick out is Ken Chenault, the African-American chairman and CEO formerly of American Express. 17 years at the helm by all accounts, including Warren Buffett and so many others, Henry Kissinger. One of the absolute best in corporate history. It can be done in the world of sports as well, too. I just pray. But there are owners who don't have that same kind of mindset, and that is slowing matters up. And
let me say this when you say that real quick. This is a big year because we've talked about it so much and all that, and we know there's going to be openings with coaches and general managers. And you say, well, I don't want them to be hired because they feel pressured. Well, maybe they need pressure to make the right decision and do what's right. So I think the hiring the coaches, I'd say there's going to be at least 6, maybe 7, just guessing like every year. We'll see who gets hired, and it'll tell us a lot.
For folks to say it's going to take time, man, time is up. If ever a game demonstrated the joy and heartbreak of football, that was it. Our best wishes to Bengals rookie quarterback Joe Burrow for a speedy recovery, and warmest congratulations to Washington's Alex Smith for his first win in more than 2 years after recovering from his own devastating injury. Let's face it, it's been a very tough year for all of us, but this is Thanksgiving week, and in such challenging times, it is perhaps more appropriate than ever that we share some of the things we give thanks for. Phil, let's start with you, buddy.
Well, I'm always thankful for everything just about my life. First off, when you talk about Joe Burrow, it was a devastating injury. It was bad. But in this day and age, I feel really confident he will come back and be the player that we saw all year, his rookie year. Me, I feel more responsibility as I get older because my kids are growing up. I got grandchildren, and I feel, and I'm thankful because I have this family, and I'm just thankful that I get a chance to try to raise and be part of their lives too. So it's a big responsibility I think we all take with our families, but it's something I look forward to doing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I'm thankful for in this season is perspective. Perspective of what really matters. I think we as a country has been through a really rough 2020, and the perspective of it is we're stronger together, and we're just better together. And so, I'm thankful for the essential workers, the grocery store clerks, the nurses, the caretakers, the people that we don't think about, that while we're still going through a pandemic, they still have to work and they have to leave their families. And the people that we never know that's going through the things that they go through. And one of the things I'm thankful for, last night I sent the video to the great Floyd Little. He's in hospice care right now and Hall of Fame running back.
That's right.
And me standing beside Floyd.
Denver Broncos,
man.
NFL great.
Oh, man, I put on that jacket and stood beside Floyd, and I'm like, Floyd Little.
Yep.
And now, he's in hospice, and so I'm thankful that we have a chance to say, man says goodbye, God says welcome home, and whatever happens, he will be what he's supposed to be. But this is a season that we're supposed to be thankful for loving each other, really, man, and encouraging each other to be better. And that's why I think I'm more thankful for perspective than anything else.
Yeah, talking about perspective, it really quick, drafted to the Denver Broncos 2006, you get a crash course right away on who the greats are. And one of the first names you hear is Mr. Little. And I had an opportunity to actually sit with them, talk with them. Amazing man, amazing football players we all know. When we think about 2020 and what I'm thankful for, it's the same thing. It's really life itself. itself.
Yeah.
We think about how much life was lost, racial tension soaring, but then, in the middle of a global pandemic, and we lost so many people.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at perspective, us just being here with our family means a lot.
You know what? I just coattailing on what you guys. Let me just talk first of all from a CBS standpoint, and I hope people feel that my passion is just for equal opportunity for everyone, because God did not make any rejects. Everybody's made in His image, so that means they bring talent to the table.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that at CBS we had Harold Bryant, African American executive producer. We had Kamani Morales, black producer, and also Mark Grant, a black director for the first time ever, directing, producing, EPing an NFL game.
Yep.
And that's to be commended. And I thank leadership, Sean McManus and David Burson, for doing that. You talk about love. Hey, look, everybody talks about our family, and Phil, you're absolutely correct. My wife, last time I checked, Adam made the wife by pulling the rib out of the side. People say behind every good man. No, alongside every good man is a good woman. And I appreciate my wife tremendously. Love my grandkids, but I certainly want to model things properly for them, because, Phil, to your point, it is a significant responsibility that we do
How long
that
you
right.
been married?
Hey, look, I can't. It's going to be
How long you
officially.
been married?
Hold on, officially, it's going to be 26 years. We
So
dated.
that's how you did it?
No, hold on. We dated off and on for 8 years. I got fired twice. So I'm counting that.
Oh, yeah, fired.
So it's 34
So that's what you do when you're on TV, just give them some love, huh? That's what y'all
Absolutely,
do. Okay.
all good. But you know what? To Ray's point, love is a choice. I've said it so often, and the last time I checked, love never fails. And I pray that's what happens with our country. Hey, folks, that's it for us. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week on Inside the NFL right here on
Showtime.
I love you.
So wait.
Brandon, what happened?